This week's parsha, Parshas Tazria. As we know, of course, Parshas Tazria, Mitzvah, they speak about the idea of the leper, the Mitzvah, the one who speaks Lashon Hara. And as Chazal tells us beautifully and succinctly, what's the Lashon Mitzvah? Zeh shemotzi shemra. This, the one who speaks negatively and slanderously against his fellow man. Now, it's a very interesting thing because, of course, we live in a world today where gossip sells. People feel connected to the tea, as the kids say. It's something where necessarily you can get the impression that you can almost get ahead in life, speaking negatively, speaking derogatorily about other people. And yet, unfortunately, the Torah tells us it's not true. That's not the way the life should be. And that's certainly not the way that we can view progress and improvement and self-improvement from speaking negatively towards others. As my Rabbi Weinfeld says, the Lashon Chayim, the word Chayim, life, is actually not Lashon Yachid. It's not in the singular sense. It's actually in the plural. Because true life is including other people, not pushing people away, not speaking derogatorily negative towards others. But if anything, no, it's in bringing people closer. It's in speaking positively about others, in bringing positivity to the world around us. That's what brings true life. And it's no wonder, therefore, the Torah says that the only panacea, the only actual diagnosis that we have for someone who has given himself so much to speaking negatively and pushing other people away is, unfortunately, to be isolated, is to be pushed away. Because such a person, unfortunately, is almost cancerous to a society like that. Because such a person who is bringing that negative energy, who is bringing that negative speech towards others, unfortunately is not roy to be in the area and to be in a space that includes other people as well. And Rav Hirsch actually speaks about this because really, what is even this panacea, this diagnosis that we have to send him away, is in order that he should contemplate what does it truly mean to push and to isolate. Because isolation is not fun. Psychologically, we understand isolation, and as history has taught us in the most recent past, being alone is not healthy. Being alone is not positive. Being alone is dangerous to a person's soul. And unfortunately, such a person who gives himself to that, they bring that upon themselves. And yet, nonetheless, as much as we understand that from a negative standpoint, of course, they need to be isolated, we do not lose our sense of rachmanis. The Gemara tells us something very fascinating. The Gemara Ma'ikatan tells us that as much as we say, Tameh, Tameh, Yikar, he shall be considered Tameh, that one interpretation of the Gemara says he shall tell others that he is Tameh, in order to not make sure that nobody comes Tameh from him, in coming in contact. But says Chazal, fascinating, that as much as this person is negative, as much as we isolate this person, Kidei shispal alav, shivakish rachamim alav, that we pray for him, that he should find solace, that he should be able to be included among the population and together with Klal Yisrael. Because the truth is, isolation, it's only a means to the end of the thought process, as I mentioned, Rav Hirsch says, to get to that place where he wants to rejoin society as a healthy member. And we don't lose our sense of compassion upon somebody who, although has removed himself from the community, we do not lose our compassion to understand that as much as he is removed, we don't remove ourselves. We still think, how can we bring this person back to common society? How can we bring this person back to be sharing and to be part of a full-fledged member of Klal Yisrael? Because we don't want people who are negative. We don't want people who are sad and isolated. We want to bring people closer together. So how can we think about that? How can we, in our day-to-day practice, learn to become positive people who bring people closer? The speech, working on our Lashon Hara, but also seeing other people who are isolated. How can we bring them out of their shell and come back to Klal Yisrael? It's worthwhile to think about that duality, that as much as this person is cancerous to society, and we say, get out of here, we don't lose them from our hearts. So, have a wonderful Shabbat.